Today is Tuesday, and it was announced that the DualSense Edge is going to be released at the end of January. Pre-orders are at the end of October, and the price point for the DualSense Edge is going to be $200, and that the replacement modules and sticks are going to be sold separately at $20 for, I think, 3 sticks. I think that's what they said on that point. We're going to, if you might recall, and maybe you don't, and if you don't, we're going to post something right here, right now, stating it. When this was announced at Gamescom this year, me and Zero essentially said that this is probably going to be their premium controller. They're going to market it as a premium controller, and that it's probably going to be $200 at that point. I think I said $250. If I wouldn't have been surprised it was $250, but we said $200 or $250 at this point. So we were right, and we'll post the proof as well, just so you guys know on YouTube. We'll put a card up there just to show the time anyway.
Most I'd probably drop on it is about $100.
Oh, so
because it just seems like a half step between the Xbox Elite controller, which is a $180 to a $200 controller, depending if you can find it on sale.
Sony is gonna ask for $225 for this, and I will pay $100, just like you said. I'll pay $100 for it.
Yeah.
Like there's not enough in there.
Yeah, it would be a real shame if they priced it around like $200, because there's just not enough features in it to really ask for that much cash, in my opinion.
Zero, what did you think about the announcement of the DualSense Edge being $200?
It's kind of funny because we had speculated that it was going to be right around the $200 price point, especially because the way that they were teasing the controller in the marketing video, it was just kind of a premium sort of vibe that they were trying to evoke and everything. And for me, I probably commented on it, but it was more just if this controller doesn't have a premium feel to it, or doesn't use any sort of like premium materials, then it's going to be a really hard sell for some people. Some people are just not going to be quick to say, hey, I'm willing to drop $200 on this thing because this thing seems interesting. So it's and that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. Just they didn't reveal anything premium about the guts of the controller, because like with the Xbox Elite controller, it's got a metal subframe in it. So it's just much more durable and everything. So in the Xbox Elite's case, it feels like a premium controller. Mm-hmm. And whereas just the DualSense Edge, it's just like, hey, yeah, we've got a couple extra buttons. Things are redesigned. We've got a modular analog stick sort of thing going on. So if your sticks go dead, you can just buy brand new sticks. I mean, it just doesn't seem like a marked improvement over the DualShock. Sure, it's got extra buttons. Sure, you've got 2 function modifier buttons on the bottoms of the analog sticks, so you can make them do different things. But again, just it doesn't seem like it does anything more or substantial compared to just like a regular DualShock. And yeah, some people will go, well, dude, it's got profiles. Dude, it's got triggers with adjustable dead zones. Yeah, but so does the Xbox Elite controller. And the Xbox Elite controller, Microsoft did a clever play of, oh, you don't need the extra paddles or the extra analog sticks or the custom carrying case. Well, the Elite controller starts in at a price of $130.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's really going to be a hard sell for a PC gamer, because a PC gamer is going to go, okay, cool. So I can get this really cool, really tricked out Xbox controller for $130. Or if I want all the extra stuff like the extra analog sticks that have different heights, paddles for the additional buttons to activate and all this other stuff, my grand total just bumps up to $180, and Sony's kind of charging just 200 for theirs. Well, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get the Xbox One. And I think it's even more funny because later this afternoon, Xbox released a video that they are now enabling the Xbox Design Lab for the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. So now you can completely customize the color of it and everything. And even with that service, because they hand build the controllers and everything, the Xbox Design Lab Elite Series controllers are now just, I think, $210 before taxes and shipping. So, yeah, you can get a completely customized, completely tricked out controller, and Microsoft will even laser engrave your name for an extra $10. So, for like $220 versus, hey, yeah, here's a slightly better than factory controller for like $200.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head on one aspect, is that in order for it to be premium, it has to look premium. And the Elite controller does look premium. It looks different than the initial controller involved. Like, I looked at it when it was announced, and I was like, that looks like a DualSense. Like, there's not even difference in colors. There's not even a difference in the frame and of how it looks in any way. It's just a DualSense that you can pull apart. But that's all this really is. And yes, it has the profiles, and you can adjust the dead zones and whatever. A lot of people are going to look at the $200 controller and look at it and go, looks no different than this one. And that's important, because if it doesn't look any different than a standard controller, right there, you're going to lose a lot of people when it comes to buying that item. But when you have the Elite controller and you're looking at the box of that, and you're looking at the regular box of an Xbox Series X controller, you can see differences. You can see, oh, this has this type of texture here. Oh, and there's that metal frame there. Oh, and it's got this color, and it's got this, and it's got this and that. And it has the paddles in the back and whatever. Like, you can tell the differences. When I saw I saw the trailer again for the features, it looks exactly the same as the DualSense. And for me, I'm not interested in it, mainly because I don't like the feel of the DualSense. It does not feel comfortable, especially when you play it for a sizable period of time, when your hands get sweaty. Because my hands get sweaty. And you're gripping on the controller. It's just not comfortable. It feels like it can slip off my hand at any time to a certain extent, or that I can break the controller. So I don't like the DualSense on that aspect. And the haptic feedback is neat, but it doesn't really matter to me so much. So I was expecting a lot more from this, but and that's another thing too. No upgrades to the haptics, and it's $200. Like, what is this? This to me, and we discussed this on the podcast when it came to Gamescom. This seems like a mid-tier product. This seems like something you would spend you would charge $120 for. Maybe I would say 100, but maybe 120, and charge. This is the mid-tier product. We'll have the premium coming soon, but if you want something that's a slight upgrade from the DualSense, this is the DualSense Edge. Would be is how I would market it. The DualSense Edge is the mid-tier. It's the upgrade, but it's not the premium. We'll have the premium coming up in about X amount of time. That's what I thought would be the best thing for them. But if they're marketing this as the premium, this does not look premium. Yeah, no one's going to look at a DualSense Edge and go, whoa, that looks nice. They're going to say, oh, it's a DualSense. And then someone will have to point out, no, it's not. You can pull this out and it'll do this. You can take the keycaps and do this. And they go, oh, okay. That's not premium. Like, a premium stands out. Like, a SCUF controller stands out. The Elite stands out. This doesn't stand out to me.
And even on the design point, the only design difference is the touchpad. They've decided to go black it out instead of just how on the regular PlayStation controller, it's got a contrasting white and everything. But yeah, they've just blacked out the touchpad. The USB interface is kind of neat because you've got a little locking block. So if you're trying to play corded at a tournament, you don't have to worry about the cord unplugging itself, I guess. So I mean, there's some cute features, but again, I still stand by my take that compared to the Xbox Elite controller and full open disclosure for me, I've got an Elite version 1 and an Elite version 2, and yes, they both work. But yeah, just in comparison to the features that the Elite 1 and Elite version 2 have, it's just kind of like that's a lot to offer for, just or that's priced a lot just for what you're offering for $200 versus just 180 for the Elite controllers, where I mean, the Elite controllers, while they do have a lot of features, they also streamline things, and that's what in my opinion makes the Elite controllers so nice. Sony's little demo video showed the function buttons that are under the analog sticks, letting you just completely alter settings and go into like a profile changer and stuff like that. I don't know, just for me that just seems clumsy, because on the Elite version 1 you had a little switch dead center on the controller that would either give you profile number 1 or profile number 2. Mm-hmm. And personally, I love it because it's just nice, simple, and elegant. You don't need to look at a screen to determine which profile you're in. Just you set the profile and go. Yeah. And then the Xbox Elite version 2 controller, you've got a set of 3 LEDs in the controller, and again, you can set a profile to each one of those little LED profiles. And again, you can also just pick the profile you want to use without needing a screen to tell you, oh, hey, you're in the Call of Duty profile. Oh, hey, you're in the Gran Turismo 7 profile. Oh, hey, you're in the general all games profile. I just like the elegance of the Xbox Elite controllers because again, while they pack a lot of features, they also keep things very streamlined and very simple.
I think the sales are going to be that the diehard Sony fans, like the real diehard ones, they're going to buy it right away. But I think that's it. I don't think anybody else is really going to buy this. I mean, you have to be, I'm talking like diehard Sony, ones that are on Twitter claiming how much they love Sony and they love the PlayStation and nothing beats it. Those people will buy it. Other than that, I don't see anybody else purchasing this.
The esports gamers are probably going to be buying Scuff anyways, because they're just like, yeah, Scuff is the standard for us. And if they're big esports personalities, Scuff will usually give premium service to them anyway. So I really don't see any pro PlayStation players all of a sudden going, oh, well, yeah, let me just switch off. Yeah, because Scuff doesn't have a warranty and the Sony one does. Hell yeah, I'm going to switch to the Sony one. No, they're going to go with Scuff because they know that as a big esports player, all they just have to do is just say, oh yeah, I use Scuff branded controllers, and that's marketing that you can't put a price on for Scuff.
Yeah, I think this is going to flop, essentially. I think it'll have initially okay sales in like the first month, and then you're going to see these on clearance for about $120 and about a year.
Yeah.
I think that.
I will say that for investigative purposes, at some point I will be trying to pick one of these up just to see if it even lives up to the hype, and I just have a feeling it won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know I was kind of that way with the Xbox Elite controllers. I was just like, man, just $180 for a controller, and that's a lot of dough to throw down on a controller. I'm not really so sure that just any controller's worth that kind of a price. And then of course, just after I put my hands on it and everything, I was like, no, I just love how versatile this controller is, and how just I can set it up with different profiles for different games, and it just makes my games feel just that much more fun to me. And that was when it all clicked for me. But yeah, just DualSense Edge, it's just like, yeah, that's nice, but it looks like you have to rely on whatever software it is to monitor which profiles you're on and everything. That just seems like way too much complication on something that should be just streamlined, elegant, and just be quick to use. Because yeah, just I really don't see any big name esports players going, oh yeah, just hold on guys, let me get into the PlayStation section and modify my profiles and everything.
Thank you for listening to this podcast segment. The Capital Games podcast is done every week, and we post it on all your favorite podcast apps, as well as segments on YouTube. If you want to listen to another segment, you can listen to a new one right there on the screen. We also do a movie podcast called the Capital Games Movie Club. If you'd like, you can go ahead and click on that and see all the movies that we have reviewed from that point. Thank you for listening, and we hope to hear from you soon.